Hi. That was it. That's all I had for the intro.
Oh, is that it? I thought you were going to bring Matilda into it. Or something.
Just sitting there silently, just going, what?
I don't know.
The Podcats are back!
Yay!
Maybe. Let's introduce everyone.
Okay.
First up, we've got Sex Icon, Matt.
Hey.
Was that your best sexy noise?
Oh, God, well, my normal voice. Look, listen to my voice, John.
You had to dig so deep for any sort of sexual thing to say. You just went, hey. You went like sub Joey Tribbiani.
Oh, what? I'm in a set. You know what? I'm in a fucking horny mode on the podcast. That's what I am.
You're
fucking
in a
horny for
mode?
John and Daniel. That's what I mean. That's me.
Wow. All right. We've also, you may know him from Shilling for Bethesda. It's John.
Yo.
You may also know him as the most successful channel here right now.
Oh, okay. I know. Wait, have you got more subscribers than me yet?
No, he's got more Patreon.
Well, you know, Patreon are just people who respect you as a person. Subscribers are people who just click a thing and then don't watch your videos. So
Yeah, but John, are you losing
better.
subscribers or gaining subscribers?
Incredibly slowly gaining.
Well, that's positive,
Well, we're
isn't it?
incredibly slowly losing. So
We're not slowly. It's not that slowly.
Look, everybody knows the decline is the best bit. It's like
we get more
roller
views as
coasters,
well. We also get more
America.
views. We're
Oh, yeah, he
getting
does get more
than
views
you.
now. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's because I don't put any video. Although,
And a
as
lot
this week,
more
I'm
view
back.
time, which is what actually
Full
really
time.
matters for lots of things.
Yeah.
Oh, John, I'm about to shit on your view time because I got a new series of like 5-hour long episodes. So fuck you.
Fudge.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing that's
Oh,
happening.
no. I think you'll find I'm already one step ahead of you because all of my series are several hours long by default. Fucking Stellaris is entering part 18 of hour-and-a-half episodes.
Wow. Call me
How many
when you
viewers does that
release
have
an
an
entire
episode?
40-part series in one go with how long episodes.
Like 30,000 an episode. Like 30,000 episodes, not bad.
Oh, that's more. Okay, that's
Fair view, that's the thing.
That's quite a good amount.
Anyway, welcome to the Podcats, where we are. Before we used to talk about gaming news and gaming shit, and this time we're not. We are live on Twitch, so we're just going to kind of chat to chat, and chat are going to bring up topics for conversation, and we're going to just see.
I have
what
a topic
comes
though.
up.
I have a topic idea though.
If it's Hitman,
Oh,
I'm
you've broken
quitting.
the
It
format
was going to be
already.
Hitman 2. It was going to be Hitman 2.
No,
Yeah, Hitman 2 just had a content patch today. Brand
Never
new
played it.
Halloween content just came out for Hitman 2.
Never played it.
everyone in chat is
What's
saying
that,
Hitman
Hitman
2. John,
In the
your fans are
3
clearly-
years since we've actually been, since we last did the podcast, Hitman has not stopped just drip-feeding content for 3 years straight.
You see,
3 years of
this is
content to
something I
cover.
want to argue about, right? I don't like the concept of drip feed because I like to get it all. Like, if you're gonna
seen
eat a
you
kebab,
eat, I know.
I don't want to eat it on like a fucking the world's slowest sushi kebab. But it's just slowly, just this string of kebab comes towards me, and I just nibble it as it goes past. I want a big fucking shit ton of food or a nice, interesting meal in one go. I don't want like to eat a chip and then wait 2 minutes and eat another chip.
Okay, well,
don't
let me
think
just
drip
clarify
feeding is
this.
a
So
positive.
you prefer like the Hitman Blood Money style, where you just get a game and it's a fuck ton of levels, and there's just a fuck ton of levels. There's a game.
Yes.
Then
yes.
you probably should get Hitman 2 because it's not episodic. It's just a fuck ton of levels.
But it's also drip feeding. Imagine if you got
Yeah, they've added a bunch of extra stuff in the levels already, but the core missions are all in the base game. It's not episodic
if you're about
anymore.
to leave the shop and the man goes, oh wait, hang on, chili sauce. You're like, oh thanks. You walk out the shop again. Oh wait, garlic, and you kebab's cold by that point.
No.
No,
Hitman 2 is
you
a
go
beautiful,
back to the
delicious
shop the next
kebab,
day,
and
and they
then
give you a free
for
naan.
free, they come to your house and give you extra little sides for the next 3 years.
Who the fuck wants a side every 3? You just there's the dude at the door with the fucking beans again.
Why would you, depending on what takeaway it is, I would.
just
Like, how
a man
amazing would it
with
be if every single day for the next 3 years, someone came to your door and just gave you a free, hot, fluffy garlic naan?
Be incredibly
Every year.
suspicious.
That sounds like the worst thing.
You think it would be the worst thing to receive free, fresh garlic naan every day for 3 years?
Yeah, but
Well,
after,
nothing's
the
going to
first-
make you happy
the first
then,
few
is it?
weeks of that being something you'd enjoy, you really start to get fucking sick of garlic naan.
You don't have to eat it. You can donate it to a nearby
can't
food
stockpile
bank,
it
you
if it's warm, 'cause
psycho.
then you-
What, he's going to turn into a food bag with a single
One naan.
It's better
cold.
than nothing.
Hawky Bird says, "Is this a new loot
A lot of people in the chat are on my side. I want you to know, a lot of people in my chat are in favour of Nerd Crate as a service.
Maybe that's the future of NerdCubed. Maybe that's how
we're going to fund ourselves from now on. The Nerd box coming soon.
You know what? Loot Crate's in liquidation or whatever the fuck they're doing. You just
like
buy
James
them.
Cameron. Yeah. Sorry, that's a reference to.
That's a callback.
Callback to the bit we haven't recorded.
Great. Everyone's saying non-cubed. Non-cubed. Non-cubed.
Yeah, but it would... Right, if the thing about Narn is he wouldn't have to knock at the door, he could just post it through Letterboxd.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work for you, because the dogs would just go and get it.
Oh, yeah, if it's like an onion Narn, they're gonna die.
What's like, that? God, I'm visualising
basically, what I'm saying is Hitman's trying to kill my dogs.
Like, there's a scene I'm picturing from like a TV show or a movie or something like that, where like they're trapped inside between like in the vestibule of this apartment building, and they have to order pizza, and they order pizza and ask the pizza guy to put it through the letterbox. That's
Peep Show.
It's Peep Show. Yes,
that's Peep Show.
That, but with Narn.
Yeah, but the thing is the problem is that you got the brushes on it, so you'd have to put it in the. It would have to be in the white paper, and that's just the environment's fragile as shit. So maybe this is a terrible idea.
I was good. You know what's annoying? I was going to suggest, well, maybe you should just get it all at once, and then you'd have to save it, which is just supporting your point, and I give up.
Or,
you're just now on my side again.
No one's actually forcing you to receive the Narn for 3 years. No one's forcing you to take the Narn. You can either go to the shop and buy the Hitman 2 burrito and just have it and completely ignore the free shit for 3 years. Or you can have...
Well, you can't just ignore 3 years of Narn bread coming through your letterbox.
Well, it's not... It doesn't have to be... Well, it's...
You'd be so sick.
It's coming through your e-letterbox. Okay? It doesn't take up much space.
You'd be just in the morning, but what's that smell? Oh, for fuck's sake, he's been in the night.
You'd go on holiday for a few weeks.
You'd come in for a night out,
you see, the problem is that wouldn't be a problem for me because I've been living with a French person for so many years. The smell of garlic just doesn't faze me anymore. You can spray me in the face with concentrated garlic and I'd just like, nope, no idea what that is. I'm fine with it. Wouldn't even notice.
I just love the idea that you just like have it all at once. 3,000. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm right. I feel like I'm right in this. You've just...
I feel like this has nothing to do with video games.
Well, it's just... Some people are coming like going, who the fuck I want this box? No, yeah.
This is the most first world theoretical problem I've ever heard. 3 years ago, I went out and bought one delicious taco and it was really damn good. And since then, they just keep giving me free delicious food that I have under no obligation to eat, but it keeps coming. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
I'd start to feel bad that I wasn't eating it and was just throwing it out. It would feel like a waste, and that's what I feel with these games. It's like, look at all this content. I'm like, I don't want that.
I was going to say, don't throw it out. Give it to someone, but that involves you going and talking to someone.
Yeah,
so you want less content in all of your games?
Yes.
Weirdly, I have a lot of sympathy for this. Games that are too big piss me off.
Yeah, no, I will admit that.
I can't. Some games are just like, I don't even want to start this because it's too much of a fucking commitment.
I do that constantly, but like what me and
I don't want... The main reason I've never really got into Witcher is because I don't want to take on that fucking commitment.
This is the thing. I've always avoided it. Me and Danny have been fucking ill for the past 2 weeks, and it came out on Switch, and it was just
I've been in bed sick playing The Witcher. But what's great about playing it on the Switch is I go, I need to go do something, and I press a button, and then I can come back to it hours later or days later, and I'm in the exact same place. And so for a big game, it breaks it down into smaller quantities. Basically, chewing your food is what the Switch lets you do. Instead of it feels less imposing, because I can just go num 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 little bits. Whereas if it's on PS4, I've got to load that shit up for minutes at a time. It feels like I'm having to re-microwave the same meal every time, and I just feel like the Switch version is great. It runs really well, by the way. It's a fucking excellent port.
Here's a fun thing, right?
Genuinely
Switch wasn't out last time we did a podcast.
Oh, fuck off, really?
Yeah.
No, neither was Witcher. That franchise was still just a novel in Poland.
Neither was The Witcher.
The Switch came out on the 3rd of March 2017, and we did the last podcast was on the 7th of December 2016.
In fact, if someone wants to go back and listen to the Final Few podcasts, both me and Dan were confidently predicting that the Switch was shit, it was going to be a failure, and it was going to be Nintendo's last console, and they were going to go the way of Sega and to start developing software. We both said it was going to be a shit disaster.
Now
We were so fucking wrong.
so wrong.
So wrong.
Oh no, this is the point.
I did not expect that they were gonna shit games into it.
Well,
endless games. They were like,
this
no,
is
you're
the
going
point
to
of
fucking
how
like
successful it is, though, because I sent you this stat the other day, didn't I, Daniel? About like The Witcher 3 is number 4th in the UK charts currently. The UK just total game sale charts, just because it's on Switch.
Yeah.
Literally just because it's on Switch.
this. Yeah,
Number 4.
because it's better way of playing big games. I've finished like Skyrim. I've played for the first time properly and completed on the Switch. Dark Souls on the Switch. The Witcher on the Switch. Divinity on the Switch. Like, if I'm like, it's game time, it's like comfortable, snuggling, really uncomfortable games console, but it's, it's a nicer way to play, because I feel like it's definitely, it's better for being a grown-up. If I'm like, oh, I need to go do that thing, my dog's choking to death, I can go and do that and then come back to it later, and that's useful.
That's not what I use the Switch for myself. Like, I for a big game, I want it to be at its best, so I'm still on PC. My Switch is for smaller things, like Slay the Spire, or Wargroove, or like, strategy and tactics. Civ 6, absolutely.
The thing is, though, I used to agree with you with that point. I was just using the Switch for indie stuff, and then I got Witcher 3 on it. And I was sick in bed. Right, I was playing it docked.
Oh,
Right,
fool.
I was playing it docked. My TV was next to me. I'm currently sleeping in my living room. It's a whole thing. I was playing it docked. I'm like it's best. I realize the term playing it at its best is pretty like. I fucking think games are beautiful. You get some really gorgeous games. The Witcher 3 is an absolutely gorgeous game, but it isn't less fun by being a bit blurrier. GTA 5, and I keep using this comparison because I think it's a really apt comparison. Nobody played GTA 5 on a PS3 and went, this doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
Because it looked great. It ran at 25 FPS at about fucking 600p. And it was a fucking mess. But everyone who played it went, this is great. And everyone enjoyed it. And everyone thought, this looks really nice. And then obviously it can look better, but it looks great. And that's what playing The Witcher 3 on the Switch is like. It's like playing...
But I feel like if I've got PC time, I play VR. Because VR is that step above, and that is games at their best. Like, games are so much more immersive and better in VR. It's untrue. So if I'm going to be like, I want to play the game its best, I want fucking Witcher VR. Witcher VR? Wow, that was just... Where the fuck did my tongue go there? The Witcher VR! Yes, it's a game about
on the
you
Wii
play as
version.
a Witcher called Beralt of Giviera. And have to...
I want a Witcher VR where you have to, like, kiss like a noon wraith.
I thought about so you had to sex the ladies.
Well, no, did you do that quest?
Witcher VR. You just put on the sort of the Vive cod piece.
Well, no offense, the Switch is going to be better at that anyway. With the new system that they've just introduced with Ring Fit Adventure, you now do have a Joy-Con taped to your legs. That'll be able to monitor thrusting very effectively. I mean,
what do you think a woman looks like, John? If you think that a ring is an appropriate shape to represent.
I meant the Joy-Con you tied to... Have you not played Ring Fit Adventure?
Of course he's not played Ring Fit Adventure. He can barely stand.
Okay, there's two separate bits to it. There's the massive ring thing that one Joy-Con's plugged into that you squeeze and pull apart and whatever. But the other Joy-Con gets pinned to your leg to monitor jogging, so you can jog on the spot and shit. And that's the one you use for thrusting, obviously.
Oh. And then we use the ring for, like, squeezing.
Yes, squeezing. Or like, okay, for people who are into what's the fetish called where you're tiny and there's like a massive woman?
Giantism?
Steven Universe.
That's thing. Like, for people who are into that, like putting together VR and the ring from Ring Fit Adventure will be amazing. Like, that will fucking blow their minds.
You can call it Ring Peace Adventure.
Oh, you know what? You know the sad thing is that I'd probably still have more fucking users than the index controllers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would. I have to switch back and forth from my index to my normal one. How did we end up at 4? I don't know.
Okay, I want to give you an elevator pitch right now for something that I don't know why it doesn't exist, but it should do.
There's clearly a reason. Can you go on?
Okay, so why doesn't VR multiplayer
this is my floor, I've got to get off.
do more in terms of differences of scale between the two players involved? Like, imagine you were playing like a hide and seek game where one player is like tiny and like, you know, can hide behind desks and shit, is trying to make their way through like a building, but the other player is in fact like Godzilla sized and can smash the shit out of everything and needs to find player one.
No, there is stuff like that. The problem with VR is just it doesn't have the user base.
Yeah, I've not seen some of that, but that's the sort of shit wrong where they're playing with different scales.
Yeah, but there's stuff like that. Like, you can get prop on. You can get prop on. You can get loads of stuff on that, and it's a fun idea. It's just loads of stuff gets made for VR, and then no one really plays it because not many people have VR. And
no one plays it because Blade and Sorcery is the shit, and there's nothing else to play.
The thing is,
I'm just gonna check if there's any like giantism VR games.
Here's the thing is though, right?
John's in the hentai.
All of us work in video games. All of us have VR headsets, and all of us literally work from home and work with video games, right? So we have all the time, right?
No, not Giant Cop VR. That's an entirely different fetish.
When did you just say Giant Cock VR?
Giant Cop VR.
Daniel,
As you are well aware, I just said.
Giant Cock VR.
Oh no! It's not like
though logically, Giant Cop does have a giant cock, as he is canonically male.
Oh my god!
Even if he has a micro penis, that's still a horrendously large penis in real terms.
Avalanche! Oh wait, no. Anyway,
Daniel, when did you last play a VR game?
It's snowing, everybody! Oh
no! The snow looks like tadpoles. When did I last play?
When did you actually last play a VR game?
Well, I can't say what it was, but quite recently.
Oh, you did? You played that thing?
That thing.
Did you?
Yeah, that thing.
Okay.
I've had a go at that thing. It terrified the shit out of me.
Before that
thing, I was in bed for 3 weeks.
I know.
Not able to move.
I know, but before that,
before that, it was before the book tour. A few days before the book tour.
Okay.
Yeah. Chat's just caught up with the cum rain. Should we just let's call it cum rain?
It's fine. John, when did you last play VR?
It probably would just been Beat Saber because that is mostly what I play.
My mum is fucking into Beat Saber at the moment.
It's
my mum's
so
playing
good.
Beat
It's
Saber
like because
so
you don't.
often.
Unlike Ring Fit Adventure, which is good exercise, but you know you're doing exercise. In Beat Saber, you don't know you're doing exercise.
Yeah.
It tricks you.
It's because it's actually a game and not a thing. I haven't played the Ring Piece Adventure.
It does actually have an adventure mode, which is somewhat compelling. It does gamify exercise somewhat effectively. Come and check out my channel later this evening, where there's going to be a video on Ring Fit Adventure, because we still make videos.
Is there a video? You know what, John? Right? Do you have a fucking book?
Oh, Matt, do you?
I have a YouTube channel.
I've got a book.
How many copies did you sell before they started pulping them, even though they hadn't printed them? They deliberately printed them to pulp them.
I've sold like 300 of those. I mean, granted, a few mothers did send them back angrily. There's a review from a very angry mother on Amazon. It's just like this. It's just full of swear words. Really, really angry.
I enjoyed all the people who brought my book brought your book to my book tour, because I just kept throwing it on the ground and everyone would laugh in the crowd, and it was like a free, really easy joke, and I know you can feel that pain when I throw that on the floor.
Oh, it's so funny though, because it's the trashiest thing. For context of the people in the chat who don't know, years ago, right, it's a joke book that was written by a bot,
When he says joke book, it's not a joke book.
It's the entire...
No, a joke book would have jokes in it. This doesn't even have that.
It was inspired by Ashton's 50,000 Shades of Grey, which is just the words 50,000 Shades of Grey repeated... No, it's the words Shades of Grey repeated 50,000 times.
Well, you fucked that joke up, didn't you? That's a pretty simple joke to nail, Matt.
That's the entire book, right? The book I did is just called Inside the Mind of Matophobia, and it's written by a computer. It's written by code written by Oscari. I can never pronounce his last name.
Ascari?
Oscari. He made the Nerd³ website. He made my website.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say ASCII, and I was like, what the fuck?
Made the front end. Anyway, he wrote the code for that, and it wrote a book, and it's literally just swear words. It technically speaking, it is narrative. It makes sense. Like, it's ordered in verbs and adjectives and punctuation. So it's actually grammatically correct, and it sorted into chapter. It just wrote it all. And then I copied it into a book and sold it on Amazon. That's a joke.
So you became a Sunday Times bestseller for that?
Well, no. It took me a day. Yours took you 2 years. At least I think the amount of work, like...
Yeah, you're like, I failed, but at least I didn't put effort in.
That's it. Like, I didn't try. You know what? I sold 300 books, which is probably more than some actual authors.
It's better to not try and fail than try and succeed, is what you're trying to say.
Well, yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Okay, so someone has pointed out in the chat, and I've checked this, Panoptic is in fact a VR game that broadly, is similar to the spec I specified, giant VR giant versus someone who's tiny and trying to run away. Now, the problem is
literally very specifically that thing.
Because it involves like a giant eye laser destroying the tiny person, it doesn't mean that the giant person can reach down with their mighty hands, pick up the tiny person, and then wave them in front of you and then drop them into your mouth to consume them to also satisfy vor fetishists. So, in some ways, it's not entirely on brief, but I agree that looks really cool, and I will probably actually look at that at some point.
That's fucking ace. I'm so glad we found that. I'm getting into that.
I don't know whether like the person on the ground is also in VR if only the giant eye laser is VR and the other person's just like a normal PC.
It says VR versus PC.
Yeah. Dan, should we do that? We should do that.
But the game
says
VR.
Come to my house.
Oh. Yeah, local multiplayer, VR only.
Oh, it's only for local?
What about Steam just launched that not local multiplayer thing, didn't they?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's what they've just done, isn't it?
Don't know how well it works for VR stuff like that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they've got the local, not local, so it basically simulates a controller in your game and streams the game to the other person, I think. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. It probably doesn't work
very well. I was going to research it before the video.
It's fine. It's Tuesday. It's fine.
What day is it? It's Tuesday. Oh, shit.
I know, right?
Oh, God.
Like, no, the size thing. I remember that I really like tabletop sim in VR. Because you can make yourself the size of a playing piece.
Oh, yeah. And you're basically just a little thimble anyway, aren't you, Matt?
Well, fuck you. No, don't make a Richard
I'm the iron.
Joke.
Fuck you.
It's a fucking... Like, one of my favourite gags is I did, like, a charity stream. I did, like, the Yogg's Jingle Jam years ago. And I was doing a stream with Hannah. And just everyone else wasn't in VR, but I was just in VR, so you can just see me sort of waddling about the table, like awkwardly picking up cards that are like the size of, that are like 5 meters tall, and just like really awkwardly carrying them about, and it's the funniest looking thing in the world. Because it's just this little tiny man wandering about awkwardly picking things up.
VR needs to do more stuff where they mix different scales together, because that was what it would be amazing at.
Yeah.
That's what VR's really good for, isn't
it?
Yeah,
the whole point is it's good at scale, so why not mix different scales together?
I mean, we should... Prop Hunt. There's a version of Prop Hunt in VR, which sounds really fun.
Yeah, does anyone remember the... Oh, what was it called? Fuck. Remember that game which was like a battle royale game where one player was like the game master who could shower down, literally advice, shouting down advice and lights and goodies to certain people?
Did you say the Game Master or the Game
Game Master?
Just showing down rainbows and stuff. Hey, it's Jonathan Van Ness.
That would work amazingly in VR if like all the contestants in a battle royale game were like down on the ground in VR, but there was one giant floating VR head who just went around just dispensing lasers or sweeties depending on what mood they were in.
Show me what you've got.
Pretty much, yes.
Very much a Rick and Morty thing, yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'd be into that.
Darwin Project! Well done, chat. It was the Darwin Project.
I've never played the Darwin Project. Isn't that when like people kill themselves with a toaster in hilarious ways?
That's the Darwin Award. So the Darwin Project was very similar though. It was good fun. It's a good community game because you can get all like, you know, your subscribers to play it and you be the game master and just toy with them.
Did you say what subscribers, you cunt? What are you fucking... Your channel, you prick.
What?
Right, so, on that topic, what's your favourite Darwin Award?
Ooh. Fuck, I need to quick look them up.
What? You need to look one up?
I can't fucking remember them.
My favourite one, I'll tell you this, is a guy who killed himself, and this is a true story, by doing DIY bungee jumping. He got his pickup truck and took it to a bridge. It's a true story. It's really dark as well. He took his pickup truck to a bridge. He tied the tow rope to the back of his pickup truck and to his leg and thought, this'll work as a bungee.
Great.
And then jumped off of the bridge and basically snapped his leg off.
I was about to say, how exactly does that go wrong? Like, is it that is it? No, I mean not like. I mean like, which bit goes wrong? That's the bit that kills you.
You dumb fuck.
No, I'm aware of that. I just mean like, what exactly happens? Like, is the first that happens like the extremely fast deceleration just snaps your neck, or does your leg literally pop off? Or like, what's the bit that kills you?
It's like being hung, but by the leg.
No. If I remember rightly, it actually literally ripped his leg off because it was such a large bridge, and then he drowned because he couldn't swim.
Oh no!
When he landed in the water because he lost a leg.
People are saying you've previously talked about this. You've previously said this. Everyone's saying you previously said this.
So funny.
3 years on, Dan's still obsessed with this story. It's worrying.
Yeah, no, everyone's saying
this is something to tell your therapist, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, we have those now. That was something we didn't have last time either. The future. Isn't it nice?
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Hey, wait, had Brexit happened? Had Brexit been voted on when we stopped the podcasts?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, just about. It's been about 3 years.
There was a guy.
It has been. Yeah,
this is a brilliant one. There's a guy who stole like a protective mat. This is one of the best known ones, I think. There's a guy who stole like on a ski resort between like the what are they called, the ski lift. There's like the big metal poles. It's got like crash mats around it, and someone thought it'd be a good idea to steal one of those and sled down the hill with it. And so he stole it, slid down the hill, and crashed into the very same pole he had exposed by taking that crash mat away and died.
Wow.
I just find that so funny.
Have you spoken to your therapist about this, Daniel? Because your amusement of people dying in horrific ways might be a concern.
Horrific, that's fucking hilarious. Oh, dear.
I worry about you sometimes, Daniel. You know that.
Voos200 says, what about the girl that choked on hot dog vomit because she loved being vomited on?
Oh, yeah, that was the story I told, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's much worse than anything I've said so far
The
tonight.
girl who, like, hid in the back, she was massively into vomit, so she, like, hid in the back of, like, a hot dog eating competition. The guy was running back to vomit, and she just, like, went in front of him, like, and she's like, yeah. But then vomit came up, and when people do hot dog
Are you sure this is a real thing? 'Cause it sounds like a fake, made-up story by someone who's into a vomit fetish.
You know what? It was on a TV show, whatever.
What channel was this TV show on, Matt? Was it Bravo?
But when people do hot dog eating competitions, often they like swallow the hot dogs like almost whole. So when he was like throwing it back up, he just threw up a almost full hot dog into her mouth, which she then choked on.
Are you sure this sounds like a really dodgy internet story that's not real?
It was on the show 1,000 Ways to Die. Yeah. It's real.
Like, if I go out in a really fucking stupid way, I want you all to celebrate it for me being a fuck. It's like that. There was another one.
Of course I would. You can trust me.
A hurricane rolled in and he thought, this is a great time to do kite surfing. And they never found him. He just disappeared.
Oh, so he's Dexter.
He just flew away.
I feel like though your death will inevitably be the most pathetic thing in the world.
Oh, I'm just gonna have a heart attack from stress, and that's. I
don't think you'll have a heart attack. I think you'll just like lightly trip over and just one of those deaths that like is just normally like a light injury for someone, but you just do it slightly off and you just die. Like you just trip down the stairs in a way a normal person does, but you just happen to hit your neck in a weird way and you just die. You know, that kind of thing.
Just sneeze and snap my fragile neck, and that's
just something really, really underwhelming, and just like, how the fuck did you manage that kind of thing? You know, not even interesting. Just like so pathetically dull as to wonder how it could be possible. Like getting run over by a milk float.
You know what would happen? I'd go to VidCon and I'd be trampled by a crowd that wasn't for me. That's how I'm gonna go out. Like Jenna Marbles rocks up and the crowd runs and I'm just dead.
Yeah, you just fall over. That'd be fun. I mean, how would John die? John, how would you die?
I think John would die from inhaling the dust from a really boring book.
I'm going to admit to you that on occasion, if I do come across a really good old book, I do enjoy opening it up and giving it a good sniff.
You see?
Because you do get some really
give
nice
it a good
old book
sniff.
library smell.
Victorian dandruff.
You can get some
like
really good old book smell. Now, sometimes if the book is sufficiently old, you can't help but worry that part of that smell is a disease that has been eliminated in the intervening century. You can't help but worry that the book, having been from over a century ago, could theoretically contain polio or something.
The two reasons measles have come back: one, anti-vaxxers; two, John sniffing books.
No, but is that the way? You know how YouTubers are always suspicious of being given food, right? Because could have shit.
Anyone should be given suspicious food, especially if it's a naan bread posted for your letterbox.
But this is the thing, though, right? For John, you could get around that. Just send John an old book and he'll open it and be like, ooh, that smells nice. Poison inside.
Yeah, if you want to kill John, send to P.O. Box.
Yeah, that's the way to murder John. If you ever see John at Res, give him a book filled with poison.
That smells anthraxy.
Almonds.
Oh, the Victorian gentleman who owned this used to have lovely shampoo. Oh, no.
This sounds like a new Hitman level. Oh, fuck yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Oh my god, that should be a new. That's the Hitman 3. It should be basically not just setting up these deaths, but setting up these deaths to be Darwin Awards, so you humiliate them as well as kill them.
Well, it's like they just added the new category of there's accidental death, normal murder, and then just like Darwin.
Yeah, they're just hilarious.
Yeah. Not only was it an accident, it was an accident that destroys their legacy because it's so fucking humiliating. That's how they did it.
That's the point, though. Is there an accident that could destroy Dan's legacy? Because I feel like you're built on the idea of almost incompetence.
I feel like I have no legacy. I barely got a Wikipedia page. Just put it.
You have a Wikipedia page.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's
all that can be said for most people.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've got a legacy to destroy.
I mean,
basically, my legacy is going to be people find that book and going, "Fuck is this?" And that's it. That's it. That's my legacy for now.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't feel. I like the idea of killing a person and killing their legacy at the same time. That's
you like
a game.
The idea of killing a person, is that the quote?
I meant in a game, not like just general. There's some people, The problem is, most people with a good legacy,
That's the point. Donald Trump wasn't in office last time we did a podcast.
Yeah. No, not doing that way.
Look,
there have been requirements to Hitman levels in the past, like kill someone in a particular way. But it's always been in the past, like it needs to be an accident so people don't realise he's been murdered. They've never done it needs to be in a fucking humiliating way.
I'd love that though.
After you're done killing him, you need to pull his trousers down and put an orange in his mouth. Well,
you know how you have to notice you don't want them to become a martyr, so you have to make sure you also ruin their reputation at the same time.
So we're talking about not just killing people, but killing people and then posing them in some sort of bizarre sexual tryst with a horse or something.
Well, no, I'm doing. What did you say? Tryst with a horse? What have you been doing Witcher 3?
Tryst, not tryst with a horse.
That's a fucking thing that happens in Witcher 3, though. Whatever.
Excuse me, that's Yennefer, and that was in the previous Witcher games, right? Or does that happen in Witcher 3 again?
It's in all of them.
Oh, okay. Fine. I know. Anyway, we know how Trump's going to die. I know how he's going to die. He's going to have just a massive fucking heart attack because he eats so much shit food. It's how he's. That Trump is all American. He's going to get an all American death.
If it's not happened by now, it's not.
It's one of those weird things. Life works by sod laws rules, which is what you were saying earlier. If you're just kind of, you're perfectly healthy and you've lived a good life, but you accidentally just take an odd step down a step, you accidentally just fall, crack your head, you're dead. But people who can, smoke and drink and eat shit food their whole lives will live to 110. And suffer no ill consequences. It's like how in films, the moment a character says, "Oh yeah, me and so-and-so are going to try and have a baby," they're never going to be able to get pregnant. But if someone who desperately has got a really bright future ahead of them and has just got, their thing saying, "Oh, you get to go to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and you've got a bright future ahead of you," loses their virginity and has sex once, that person's pregnant. Instantly. Sod's law. It works for sex and life.
Are they different?
It's like they're separate things. It's like a different state of existence, is it?
There's death, life, and sex. Yeah, robots, I think, is the other one, I believe, from the...
Well, technically, if we have to put it in order, technically the order is sex, life, death. If we just kind of go through the typical lifespan of a human.
Or robots afterwards, if we're going to have some cool, like, Doctor Who adventure.
Yeah, true.
Death robots, that's the Cybermen, that is there.
Or just Data.
Or just... Well, what's... Oh, yeah, speaking of the Picard trailer...
You mean like
how
old
excited
fat
are we
Data? Old fat Data who's like, I don't age. Ignore it.
Yeah, but a robot aging to be comfortable with all the people who are around him while they're all aging, I think it's a fine thing.
Yeah, he's just had some extra RAM installed and it's just being stored around the middle.
I hope they explain it though, because in the movies they just didn't. They just like pretended it wasn't a thing.
You know, it's a fucking stupid joke. You know how that RAM's formatted. It's FAT32. Hey!
Someone said in the chat, why is everything coming out of John's mouth have to be somewhat bad sex? That's a good point, John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John, what you...
It's because I'm so clean and wholesome on my channel. You invite me somewhere else, you just can't take me anywhere.
You just
shed it. You're Miley Cyrus, aren't you? On this channel, you're Wrecking Ball and Fanny Out and over there you're fucking Hannah Montana.
Wait, what was Wrecking Ball a metaphor for?
I don't know, just balls probably.
I mean, I get she was like riding it around with her bits and pieces out, but I didn't realise the song itself was a metaphor for anything.
Pieces out.
Both her bits and her pieces.
Flopping
around.
Hose, up, yeah.
I believe she was mostly undressed upon the Wrecking Ball.
It was disgusting.
I believe she was mostly undressed upon the Wrecking Ball, which you don't want to do because that Wrecking Ball's been wrecking buildings, and you don't know what's in that building. It could be asbestos. Do you want asbestos next to your vagina? Because I don't.
You can't talk about getting disease in your vagina if you're happy to stick it up your nose when you sniff an old book, mate.
There's no asbestos in books. They've never made books out of it. I hope they've never made books out of asbestos.
Probably made books
if they do, I'm fucking screwed. If that's what they did in Victorian eras, I'm fucked, man. I'm fucked.
Asbestos books. I'm reading about asbestos use in books and book binding. There's an article about it.
Oh no! Oh no! This is a problem.
So that means it's more popular than me if it's got a Wikipedia article. How do we kill the legacy of asbestos? Oh, never mind.
Asbestos was used in books where special fire resistance was needed, and in a few other rare editions.
Who makes that book to be fire resistant?
I don't know.
Well, a book in the 1940s called Why the Nazis Are Wrong would be best made out of asbestos, but apart from that, I can't quite think of... Yes, I know a Wikipedia article now. I've got some form of legacy.
I want to point out there is it's a long article with lots of bullet points of every reference to asbestos in bookmaking. And like all the arguments for it being a good or bad idea. Every book that's ever mentioned it. I don't know why someone wrote an article about this.
Quick side note, could you just check Fuck Your Video Games isn't there? Because we should head that one off at the pass.
Oh, God. No, it's not.
Oh, good. It's one of many James says, why is John so horny today?
It's because he's seeing us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
It was your...
Matt's been busy. I haven't had a chance to speak to him recently, so you know.
You know, it's like, like last time, what? The last big thing we all did together was what? Like the Crew 2?
Could well have been, yeah.
No wonder we stopped
and you know
talking.
what? That was, there was some aggressive cars in there, which is kind of how we got our sexual tension out. By ramming each other in the game.
had a truck with Pornhub written on the side of it.
You did, which caused a few of them to get demonetized because of it was in the thumbnail. I had a small bike because I'm comfortable.
I've heard that, John, from many. So, Matt, fucking hell, I'm getting old. Oh, I've started doing that. I've started getting to that point where I'm just swapping names around. Just swapping names around. It's getting... Oh, I'm going to have to start cycling. I'm glad I don't have any friends, because otherwise it'll take ages to get through. But I keep calling Reagan Matilda and Matilda Reagan, and, my back starts hurting. Candy doesn't taste as good as it used to. I think
you just get Ring Fit Adventure. Start getting some exercise in.
I'm not going to do that. I would play Ring Peace Adventure, but not Ring Fit Adventure. It's just Sonic and the Secret Ring Fit Adventure. I'd play the shit out of that. You have to actually get into the ring and throw yourself down the stairs to imitate Sonic's spin. And then you win a Darwin Award! Way!
Oh, anyway. God, I would absolutely love to see you do that. There's nothing I find, more amusing than you just twatting yourself somehow, because the way you move normally is so calm and just slow normally, and then you just have these moments of frantic.
Yeah, I'm either in 0 or 100 and crazy %. That's my 2 speeds. Nothing else. We don't need
I feel like
nothing
that's
else.
something you could get diagnosed and fixed.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I'm sure that's I'm pretty sure that's like a symptom of ADHD.
Oh, no, yeah, I got that. That's one of them. Anyway, how about that don't eat 2K tranny, though, said Panskato. Yeah!
Oh, yeah, the format that Matt suggested an hour ago.
We got distracted because Matt...
I didn't suggest it. This is Dan's whole thing.
Wasn't really my thing. I just thought I'd treat the people.
I need to can we give context to how this came about? You said, can you see when John's around for a podcast? And I went, what are we doing in? And you went, I don't know.
I'd like to point out we had that exact same conversation about my stage show during CoxCon.
Oh my god.
Up until right before I was like, maybe we'll just play games.
So annoying. That was so annoying.
I'd go on stage and just rant some shit, I don't know.
And you're not even at the fucking stage, and I'm running about going, where the fuck are you? And you're like, oh, I'm going to turn up. I did 2 minutes after it starts, because it's my prerogative.
I'd like to point out what happened was, I entered through the back, because I wanted to see the crowd that was happening, and I saw Matt at the front, just panicking and freaking the fuck out. What is wrong with me today? Am I in the good place? And then, Matt was freaking out, and then I saw him leave, and when he left, I decided to then go down the front, because I thought it'd be funny. Basically, I just like fucking with Matt.
You do. You really do. I feel like that's part of my job, is just being available to be fucked with.
I said I'd be there at a time, and what do? I turn up there at that time. And if I'm told to be there a little earlier, I turn up a little earlier. It's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood.
You turn up exactly the wrong time.
Cyberpunk 6000 said, this is the bad place. We the bad place.
Someone said, how do I put up with him? He pays me money. He pays me money.
Pay for your friend? Yes, I pay for my friends. John, how much do I pay you?
I don't know. The check seems to get lost in the mail a lot.
Oh, yeah, it's lost in the mail again.
Yeah. Because John only uses checks. He's in the 1940s.
This is the downside. This is the downside of running what I do, which is a very positive channel where we're generally very nice about everything. Which is I don't put out anything without somebody accusing me of taking money for it.
Oh, been there.
Just my general response is like,
fucking videos.
Of all the forms of fraud I could commit, do you think I'm going to repeatedly do the one where I've got set about 30,000 witnesses a go? Like, is that the sort of fraud you think is a really good idea? That I'm going to commit very public mass fraud in front of 5 figures of witnesses? Is that a good idea, do you think?
Let me just have a
Donald Trump does that every night.
Your Fallout 76 videos. Yeah, actually, I've got... I really love doing that Fallout 76 series with John, because we just kept going, this is the worst fucking game ever. All the way between every episode, it was like, then we get the video, and John's like, it's okay. And you could just hear him breaking down like a wet cake all the way through. Until that last episode, we were trying to build that tree house, and John's gone. And he's like, no, I am done now. I can't even try to defend this shit. And it was beautiful. I'm so glad I was there
my favorite, this is possibly my favorite exchange between you and me was ever in that treehouse episode, which was I was just kind of almost like laugh crying by the end, and just said, Dad, the whole point of this series, the reason I agreed to it was I thought it was going to be fun because you were going to complain about the bad bits of Fallout 76, and I was going to say about the good bits of Fallout 76. And Dad, I've made a horrifying realization: there are no good bits.
What was the analogy you used, John? Like, what, all the yogurt's poisoned?
The frog game was survival mode where I was using the frog analogy. And survival mode's been canned now. They just cancelled that.
Really?
Yeah,
but it's because they've got to have that fridge in the game, and they've got to have the asbestos filled helmet, and that game is just a
survival mode wasn't anything to do with survival mechanics, which was the most baffling thing. It was so weird. It was just loads of PvP, but they couldn't balance it, so they just cancelled it.
Everyone was getting pissed off at it, and I was going to talk about it in the video, but I can't remember. I skipped this week's because I was sick. Oh, the single-player servers you're going to have to pay money for.
Yes! They haven't revealed how that's going to work exactly yet. Details to come. I mean, I think they'll hopefully tell me at some point soon. I haven't heard anything yet, but I imagine I'll be among the first to hear. whenever details do start to emerge.
It sounds like the way EA does it with Battlefield.
How is that? Because I've never done that.
The way EA does it with Battlefield is they have private servers, but they only... I mean, I imagine it'll be more controlled, but EA only allows authorized resellers to... a couple.
Because you have to go through their servers and it's less people on a server that's running, so it's running but no one's playing on it, they charge money for it, which, I mean... The irritating thing is, especially on PC, is you can just host that shit. So if they don't give you an option to host to that shit, it's going to be real fucking annoying.
But if you have to host it, does that mean like your computer needs to be on like 24/7, otherwise it's not on?
Well, only if... but when I'm playing with friends...
Minecraft managed this for years.
Minecraft has realms, doesn't it? It does. The realms are the paid ones, but also you can host locally. I think you can even host locally on consoles, because you can on the Switch.
Yeah, and you can host servers, you can do whatever the fuck, because servers
so
are
far,
easy
they haven't
as
said
shit.
that there's going to be a free option. They've only said that pricing's coming later. So it's going to be basically a monthly subscription to Fallout 76 to pay it with less people.
The only way I'm interested is if it's got persistence to it, where like even if you're personally not logged in because it's your server, your shit gets to stay there, and thus you can build a city with your friends.
You say this, but somehow I imagine they'll find a way to fuck it up.
I really hope there's some form of permanence and persistence to it, because if it is your persistent world, and like, because some people in my community, some of my mods, some of the regulars are active Fallout 76 players, and if they could all play together and form a little city all together, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but no, what they're going to do, right, they are going to go, we have private servers now, and they're just going to be exactly the same with less people, and they're not going to do anything else. They're not even going to touch it. I would put money on that being all it's going to be. Because, yeah, it would make sense for them to be like, oh, now you can have, massive, bigger settlements where everyone can group up and you can do this and that. No, I will fucking bet they won't do that.
You're saying this, but I think they've got a bit of spare resource to put in this direction. They've just postponed Wastelanders into next year to an unspecified date. So they've cleared up some space. Survival mode's been cancelled.
They're just incompetent.
I think they're going to... but they've got teams working on this. There's manpower doing something. I think they're going to try and at least give this a go. This is not going to be just a lazy hash job. They might... I'm not going to say they're going to do it well. They might not. They might fuck it all up. They've fucked up a few things so far. But I think they're going to try. This isn't just going to be a rush it out the door job. I think they're actually going to try and make this work.
Yeah, I think they're going to rush it out the door. To be perfectly honest.
In the chat, Derpy Chap said that they promised mods for private servers at some point.
They have. That's been repeated recently, yeah.
Yeah, but
how that's going to work with the servers being their end, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be sort of the Creative Club thing that they did.
Whether it's only Creative Club mods, which would be that'd be another backlash right there.
Like,
no, it can't be textures because they literally make money selling that shit. And also, if they're making money, if you're still having to buy the shit to go on the servers, the private servers, why would they charge a fee for it? Why are they triple dipping? Why do you have to buy the game, buy the microtransactions, and buy the server thing?
God, they've really fallen from grace since we last did the podcast.
Wait, 76 not come out last time we did this?
No!
Oh, fuck, it was the most recent Fallout game, Fallout 4, when we last did this. Oh, shit, those were better days.
Like, this is the frustrating thing, because, like, lots of things have just gotten worse. Like, they've gotten quite aggressively just kind of shitty in the past few years, haven't they?
Yes, they
What else have they done? No, Doom Eternal looks pretty good.
It's not even the game.
Doom Eternal looks fun.
It's the fucking canvas bag thing. It's all the broken shit they sell, and it's the fucking Fallout 76 fiasco, and it's the like Todd coming out and being like, "Well."
You're just saying 76 over and over again. These are all just aspects of 76.
Okay, let's put an aspect of something else in there. I bought one of their big full Pip-Boy, what's he called? Vault Boy statuette thing.
Oh god, yeah, we did do this, didn't we?
One, right? I bought one of those for Rebecca for a surprise present. I bought that, 2 years ago?
The statues, like, as a point, the 7-foot statues that you might have seen in, like, a game.
Yeah, like, so the ones you installed and stuff. They were, like, $2,500, and I'd saved up a long time, and it was, like... I think it was actually for our first wedding anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't fucking remember how long ago. It was a big sort of anniversary thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Rebecca those, and it never turned up.
Well, no, the story is... Right. You've got to keep my perspective of the story, because I was the one fucking emailing.
That was the one I sorted out, because I washed my fucking hands of it after a while.
Yeah, so fucking... They were like, oh, it'll take a while. I was like, okay. And then I emailed them, I was like, what's going on? And they were like, they didn't get back to me for months. And they took the money.
Yeah.
And then, like, 10 months after, I was like, so what's going on? They were like, oh, it's being built. I was like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, they contacted and were like, oh, we're not making those ones anymore. We're making a Fallout 76 version instead.
That's just a different model.
Yeah,
Horrible,
and it has 76
worse
printed
model.
on it. And they're the ones we're making instead. And I went, so you're not making the one?
We're not. Yeah, I literally bought it the day it was released, and it took months for them to contact us. They took the money, and it never appeared.
It's been 10
ever.
months. What do you mean you're not making it?
Yeah, it was 10 months, wasn't it? Of
And
nothing.
they were like, no, but here's the kicker as well. Then they were like, and then you know, like, oh, well, you want a refund? And they were like, okay, we'll process that. And then it took them 12 months to process the refund. Of chasing them, of them going, oh, our manager's not in this month. I'm going, your manager's not in this month.
I think
they're the only one who can authorise a refund.
I'm genuinely sure some of it hasn't turned up yet.
Oh, probably.
I'm genuinely sure.
Oh, fucking useless.
Okay, but
Nobody's got.
on
Yeah,
the
Rebecca's
other
saying
hand,
that there's stuff that hasn't
outside
turned
of
up.
this, Prey was really good.
Outside of them
Prey
trying
was
to
fucking
scam me out
great.
$2.5
Have
grand,
you played Prey?
Prey was alright. I
Prey was
preferred the
good.
original
It's
Prey.
fine.
'cause of
I
all the
can't remember whether
bullshit.
Dishonored 2 had come out last time we did the podcast. It would have been about that time.
We had, yeah.
But Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider were both solid.
2
They
is
were
excellent.
both fun.
I
Those
didn't
were
like
both-
Prey very much, I'll be honest. When I played it, I was like, this feels like a game. It doesn't feel like Prey. Because Prey was something very weird and special and...
Oh, I never played the
different.
original Prey. I just went into Prey Fresh.
Yeah, it kind of just... Sorry, when you said Prey Fresh, it sounds like something someone calls Karen has written on their walls in like flowy handwriting.
Yeah.
Prey Fresh. Actually, I need to interrupt because I've just seen something in the comments and I just want to say, Lily, I read your thing about you and Abby and I love both of you very much. And that's all I'm saying.
Oh.
We'll talk about that on the next stream.
Another thing in the comments, sorry.
I love you.
Someone said, what about the still broken Pip-Boy?
Oh, still broken Pip-Boy. We've had that replaced, I think, twice now and it's never worked.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Pip-Boy replica.
300 quid. Stop liking Fallout, Rebecca! You're playing Fallout right now!
It's so frustrating because the essence of the thing is just make a thing from the 50s and then make it a bit shit. And they somehow do it the wrong way round.
It's irritating. I mean, the problem is that, the Fallout universe, the Fallout idea, the everything behind it, the look, the feel is so engaging and brilliant and beautiful, and Bethesda didn't come up with it. They didn't come up with it.
Which is
Someone
of course
else came
what
up with it.
makes The Outer Worlds so exciting, because Leonard Boyarsky has done all the art for that.
Oh shit, the reviews
Okay.
have come out for that, haven't they?
They have, and they're looking not overwhelmingly, but pretty darn positive.
A couple of days. They haven't sent code to any YouTubers, as far as I know. But
No, it's been a really old school PR thing. Like, no YouTubers have had anything yet. It's been all about just traditional press. Like, IGN got it fucking 10 years ago or something. If you're an IGN reporter, here you go. Have fucking code. YouTubers don't get Outer Worlds.
sounds about right.
Oh, well, there we go. The Outer Worlds currently has an 86 on Metacritic. Oh, good. They'll get their bonus. 85 on Xbox One. That's a good reference. Old school. 85 on Xbox One. Oh, 82. The PC developers only 82. They're not getting the bonus. Do you remember that story about Obsidian getting the bonus? Oh,
Was that,
fun
was it
time.
85 was the threshold? They got
85,
84?
yeah.
I think it was 85 and 84.
As a point for the people who don't know, Fallout New Vegas, they didn't get a kind of promised bonus or something because they.
Yeah, they'd only get their
Metacritic score
bonus
was
if
too
you hit
high.
85 on Metacritic, and it got 84.
Yeah. Which, quite frankly, given the state New Vegas came out in, it's amazing they got 84.
Yeah, and you know what's frustrating?
I mean, Jesus Christ, that game did not work.
It still doesn't work, but it's amazing, and they made it in like 14 months or something.
Yeah, I think, when you factor in the planning stages and the fact that you couldn't be making it right up to the point it came out, because those were the days when you bought a disc, it actually had the game on it, rather than a download.exe file, and the disc is just empty.
Have you fucking seen? There are some games that are coming out now that are like, it has everything on the disc, and then you download a 40 gig patch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Spyro that for Switch had, and Crash Bandicoot also had this, didn't they? It was the first game was on the disc, and the other two you have to download. I mean, Overwatch for the Switch has nothing in the case. No cartridge, it's just a download code in the physical copy.
Fuck off.
Is there even like a little gap for where there theoretically would have been?
I don't know, but I
cartridge, or is it
really
just
hope
empty?
there is.
Just an empty box.
Wait, that reminds me, Fallout Collection. Didn't they release a new Fallout Collection recently?
Isn't
They're
it
about
still
to
on its
release
way?
in
Hasn't
the
it been
UK and
announced but not
Germany
out yet?
exclusively. Yeah, UK and Germany exclusively are getting they call it the every single Fallout game ever, and it doesn't include Fallout 76.
Does it include Brotherhood of Steel? Because no one wants it to include Brotherhood of Steel.
I don't think it includes Brotherhood of Steel either.
No.
But like...
What about Tactics?
As far as I know,
I think it might actually have Tactics.
I was about to say, is it missing about half of the Fallout game?
No, but
yes,
you
it
say
probably
this.
is.
They released this a while back, or something like this, in the Big Bomb, didn't they?
Yes, they did. I remember that. So I wasn't sure what this new thing was.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're releasing it apparently.
Okay, because this one has Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition in. The other one just had Fallout 4 because it launched with Fallout 4.
Okay, so it just gets the DLC. Fine.
Yeah, but the other one had the fucking slot for it. But
because
they had something in it that they...
You can't go to... Yeah. It doesn't have Fallout 4 in it.
No, the original version I got didn't have Fallout 4, but it had a slot for Fallout
4. Yes, that was what it had. Yes, thank you, Rebecca. God, it's nice to have you on. You're like a Fallout expert over there.
Well, actually, it was nice. It had the disc slot. It had the disc holder for Fallout 4, and then in the thing, it just had a little cardboard thing where you could put the disc. But I don't know why they're releasing that. I swear there was some controversy around that. I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember.
So
it gets lost. It gets lost to the Fallout controversy.
It really does.
It's too much. Someone lubed it up and shoved out their arse and sued Bethesda or something.
Oh, it's just a box. It's not even an interesting thing. It's just a box.
Just a box.
Yeah, it's just a box. It's just a box, isn't it? I'm gonna just
who
Richard
wants
Osmond
that?
of Fallout over there. It's just the box, isn't it?
Who wants that?
The new one that's coming out, the new Fallout one.
I'm confused. Who wants that?
I think it's just a box. Yeah.
It's
I
literally
just
a box.
love Bethesda Game Studios game list, by the way. Just going back in time, it's great. It just goes Elder Scrolls, Fallout 76, Fallout 4 VR, Elder Scrolls 5 VR, Elder Scrolls 5, Fallout 4, Fallout spin-off, Elder Scrolls 5, Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls 4, Elder Scrolls 3, then IHRA Professional Drag Racing 2005. just a drag racing game. But just the 2005 edition, none of the others. Just that one. All the other ones were developed by Super Happy Fun or Digital Dialect.
Great.
Nice.
Super Happy Fun being such a notable developer, they don't have their own wiki page.
Oh wow, that's
just such a random thing for Bethesda to have developed internally.
Everyone does weird shit like that, don't they?
That's called a bill payer. That's the Cars 3 of Bethesda. With actual cars.
Unless it's got fucking bills to pay, Jesus.
Yeah, but Bethesda don't have bills. I like that. As I was saying, they had that post they put up on their thing, and it was like, the most popular things people are buying is the non-cosmetic microtransactions. So we're going to make more of those. I'm like, yeah.
They have non-cosmetic microtransactions? What do they do?
Oh, fuck yeah. John.
What do they do?
Okay, so here's the thing. They said all, and I'm not saying this to defend it, I'm saying this to explain it.
Okay.
They
Sorry,
said
I could just hear Pete Hines crossing John off his Christmas card list.
What they said all along was it's either cosmetics, and then they kind of broadened it to be cosmetics or things that don't provide an advantage. So it's not play to win, so there's going to be no problems with like players having an advantage in PvP. But then they just cancelled PvP. And now survival mode's gone, and adventure mode's been modded so there's basically no instances of PvP in it. And once there's no PvP, then it doesn't matter what you put in the game anymore, because you're not letting anyone pay to win, because everybody wins. So, at that point, it's cool to put whatever you want in the game. The two things in particular being a fridge, where if you store food or drink in it, it degrades more slowly, and probably the worst is a little robot junk collection station where you tell it a component to go and find, and it just like wanders around the local area, and even if it's not there, it just magically finds a certain amount per hour.
You can buy a fucking fridge.
Oh, the fridge is glorious because it was like a community idea or something.
They're selling a fucking virtual fridge for real.
The fridge isn't the worst bit though, because
no. The fridge was on. Someone on Reddit was like,
the line
hey.
when the line would be crossed was when they started directly selling components like aluminium or whatever. But they are now selling a robot that produces aluminium, so they are one step removed from selling packs of components in the store. They're just one step away.
I think that's going to be. They've said that the next one's like ammo converters and food converters and shit.
Yeah.
I can't. But no. So the fridge was on. Someone did like a post on the Fallout thing, like, "Hey, here's a cool idea." And if I'm rightly, like, someone replied to it from Bethesda. I think this is what happened, and was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. Maybe you'll see that in the next patch. And then they charged everyone $7 for it. And it's like, okay.
God, they're such
cool.
They just managed to be such wankers.
Stop giving them ideas.
So, all right, okay, I'm going to bring up a big idea now.
Oh, no, don't do it, Dan. Don't do it.
No, it's a game. It's game based. This will be fine. Can you think of an instance where any of these live service sort of games are artistically valid? Can you think of any live service games that hold its weight?
Let's find a big list.
Art.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of
Honestly.
Thieves.
Is that really art?
Is that really
there's no real stories. There's no narrative to it.
No, but I think it has a very distinct artistic direction. It's a small team who've made it.
I think it's a beautiful game, but it's not trying to say anything or make you feel anything.
Well, no, it's not trying to say or feel anything. But what I mean is, it doesn't feel like it is the people who've made it, and I know they're fucking passionate about it, and it hasn't been.
It feels a bit more labour of love, but it feels very specific, smaller. Then again, I wouldn't have thought of it really as a live service game because it's had 3 updates in its history.
It's had a bunch recently. I mean, they've added microtransactions recently, obviously, but they are. It's like you can buy a monkey that doesn't do anything, and that's like they're selling.
I've had a few of those in my time, Matt. I'll let you know.
Fuck off.
I'm struggling to find, and there's sadly no wiki page for a list of games that are live services or games as a service. So I'm struggling to find a list of them.
See, Anthem, Anthem's definitely one that's just money, give me money now, money.
Is that basically dead at this point? Because they've torn up the roadmap and said, fuck it, we're not developing this anymore.
I don't know.
I think Anthem they're close to giving up on Anthem.
When a game comes out shit, there's always that sort of moment of, are you gonna fix this? Because I feel like Sea of Thieves came out shit, and I feel like with these improvements, they've actually made it into something worth playing. I think No Man's Sky has done the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like, so now, today's big news is that WWE 2K20 has just come out, and it is a fucking dumpster fire of bugs and hate. And everyone's like, it's literally Fix 2K20 is trending on Twitter.
Isn't the interesting?
But here's the thing, it's 2K who previously released a Switch version of the game that literally was unplayable. I mean, I'm talking, you don't get 30 FPS, you barely get 20 FPS in a one-on-one match. It is a literally unplayable game, and they never patched it, and they never had refunds or anything. So I feel like when a game is terrible, you go, maybe it'll be good in the future. Some people I believe in, is what I'm trying to say. And 2K,
okay, I have one to propose. Whether you consider this part of the game's service or not, I think Matt will be on my side here.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh, see, I think Rainbow Six Siege is super fucking interesting, because that's
it is.
Yeah.
I think that's so generic and dull. As a piece of work, but I feel like someone gives a fuck about maintaining that game.
They have done a lot of work to support and maintain it. A lot of effort's gone into it.
I don't feel there's an artistic vision behind it. I feel someone was like, "Hey, I want to make this cool game," and they fucking put the effort in to make.
Yeah, I think you can sense there is love and passion behind that.
There's an interesting thing about that as well, because they've kind of, people came in and they went, "We don't like this map." And they went, okay, and they took the map and they completely redid it, from scratch.
Yeah, no, Rainbow Six Siege is one of Ubisoft's best sort of communities they've built up. And For Honor as well, I think they did a good job with. I haven't really played it.
The Rainbow Six people, they've got some really good people in Ubisoft handling it, and they are very communicative. They're incredibly communicative, and they're really open to feedback. They're really active on their subreddits and everything like that, and they listen to what the community has to say.
But then again, that's kind of getting to the point of, is that a game when someone's like, hey, give me examples of games as art, would that be something you'd ever put forward?
No.
I mean, no.
Not in terms of games as art.
I don't think, the problem is, though, when you're talking about live service games, most of them are just online games that are very pick up and briefly play. They don't really have any narrative or anything. Are there any live service games that have narratives?
Fortnite has a big fucking set of narrative for some reason.
Does it?
Yeah, Fortnite's fucking shit ton of narrative. I don't know why.
Yeah, Fortnite's like Saw,
full of it.
It's not why people play it. People play Fortnite to shooty bang bang, and people watch Saw films to watch people have their heads collapsed by bear traps. But there's a ridiculous amount of lore going on in the background in both of them too.
Yeah. Yeah, there is definitely narrative there, but it's kind of, like they've all got, like The Division and Anthem, and
they've even done some fun shit. Like they've tried to imply like they've done real world narrative to support the game narrative. Like they tried to imply like the portals were connecting the game world to our world, and they just created a massive fucking prop from the game and just dumped it in the desert and waited for someone to find it.
Yeah.
Just and that's like that's really interesting. That's fun and interesting.
Yeah, but how much of that? I feel like Fortnite, with its size, I'm a lot more cynical about stuff like that because a lot of it just feels like marketing gimmicks over.
I mean, let's put it this way: Fortnite has made so much money that it can afford to be shit. Something like Fallout and No Man's Sky, etc. When they're trying to build up, they can't afford to be shit anymore. And they've got to bring that A game. Fallout is failing, and so people hate it, and No Man's Sky started to get back ahead of it. But Fortnite has fuck you money. Basically. It has
enough money to basically allow them to set up their own game platform and buy games for it.
Yeah. And shit money into other people. So they have fuck you money. So that update that came out recently for Fortnite, the Chapter 2 update, on Switch, the frame rate is so much better. They have done so much optimizing work. Like it's gone from being sort of like mostly 30, but anytime you get into a battle it's jaggedy, to being like a proper, really nice looking, really smooth experience. Not even like any jank when you're battling other people. And that, they didn't need to do that. They did that because that was important to someone, to give like this best experience. So they're trying to make that the best still. And I think that is why Fortnite is popular, because they're kind of just, I don't know if it's like a labor of love or anything, but they know that if they keep it at a really high level, it's going to live longer than, say,
they are trying to shine it to a T. Yeah, like, I mean, Minecraft never really did that, did it?
Yeah. This is weirdly why I really like the Untitled Goose Game. They didn't need to make it anywhere near as good as it is.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have made a meme game,
they were going to make their money. I mean, one, they had Epic money. They'd already taken the Epic money, so they'd already got the Epic money. Two, there was going to be enough sales off it just being a funny meme. They didn't need to make a good game, but they made a really good game.
When I heard about that, I was worried it was just going to be like
any bit of footage I saw. I just wanted to
it was just going to be a stupid meme game like Goat Simulator.
But no, they've made that.
No, they actually made. They basically made a good, small, focused like if they'd released like that as like a mobile Hitman game, it would be fucking amazing. Yeah. It's basically a Hitman game, but small, but on a small scale. It feels like a tablet Hitman game that's really good.
It is. I think that's such a good game.
It is a good game. It's a really good game, and they didn't need to, which is what makes me admiring it more. They wanted to. And I will probably put it on my top 10 of the year.
Oh yeah, that for me that's that artistic labor of love that I'm looking for.
Yeah,
it's that somebody made this game because this is the game they really wanted to make. It's kind of, it's got that. I mean, it's when I honked next to the well and the honk echoed, and I'm like, yeah, you put effort. Did you try
when you've got a bottle on your beak?
Yeah, the silencer. That was in yesterday's stream. I was silent stealth killing everyone.
That's the best one.
Something I found interesting. I mean, because Apple Arcade came out a while back.
Yes,
and I find Apple Arcade really conceptually interesting because it's like 95% of it's indies.
Yeah.
It's a game subscription service
I'll admit,
for
the
indies.
Stuff that I was playing on it, there's some of it I really liked.
Yeah, it's got some really good stuff. And a lot of it feels like, from what I've spoken to some people who've sort of done Apple Arcade games, and the sort of insider stuff I've gotten, that Apple made really, really, really good monetary offers to people.
Yeah.
And they apparently wanted specifically interesting stuff, not stuff that would sell. They wanted interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And so all the stuff seems to be labor of love stuff. You're getting weird stuff. And I mean, I've realized now they pulled with them. They said it was exclusive. It's exclusive on mobile. The key asterisk is there because most of it's on PC and Switch as well.
Yeah.
But you're getting games like What the Golf.
And Mini Motorways, which I really want to play, but again,
Mini Motorways,
So the problem there is it's got that exclusivity, and I don't have an Apple device.
It's got exclusivity. It's got exclusivity on mobile. That's the point.
Yeah, but it's not. It's also got a year ahead because the Mini Motorways isn't coming out for a year on.
Well, you say that, but there's this thing. Some of these games, like
that's the one I care about. That game's great.
Tangled Tower. Tangled Tower's fucking great. It came out today on PC and Switch, and it was on Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade seemed to have timed I don't know. They have some weird exclusivity because like stuff
if
like
it's a
Senora
time
Wild
exclusive
Hearts.
that's platform exclusive, I can't stand it because I'm like, I want to play the thing now and I have to buy an iPhone. I don't want to buy an iPhone. If it's on the Epic Store, and I know some people are like, oh, if it's going to wait, yeah, it's just another fucking app.
It is.
It's just a program. It's just install it. Just install the thing for the thing. It's not a problem.
China aren't spying on you with it. They're not.
Actually, yeah, fucking Epic came out and were like, oh, if you want to fucking protest against China, go for it.
Of course they fucking are. That's the thing of the Apple Arcade stuff. Like Senora Wild Hearts is like on it, and they're telling about that. Obviously, you can get it on Switch. Some games are, but I think it's just because some games are very explicitly made for mobile, and they have the exclusivity in the mobiles. You know when it's a console exclusive and it's on PC as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's that. It's that. Like there's Card of Darkness, which is Pendleton Ward's card game, which is really cute and fun, but obviously I don't think it'll really work on PC.
Anything will work on PC. PC people want stuff.
They do. But this is the thing. I find it interesting. It's all really artistically interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And Apple are really good for pushing that on their store, actually. I will admit to them that.
Have you played that Jenny LeClue thing? Because that looks fun.
But yeah, I tried. I went through every single Apple Arcade game and tried them all.
Uh-huh.
And Jenny LeClue, a lot of them had the same problem. You know when you start a game and it starts with literally like 100... You know when someone comes up and you've got to click to skip through the text?
Yeah.
And you do that for fucking like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If a game starts like that before actually fucking doing anything, I get so sick of it that I end up not playing it. That's what Jane LeClue does.
Can't deal with that.
I've heard really good things about it, but like a lot of the Apple Arcade games did that.
Well, that's with anything. You need to grab people as quickly as possible.
Yeah, like some games, like Untitled Goose Game is great because it just starts with you in a bush and it says press A to honk.
Yeah, the first thing is honk. Okay, start honking. And understands that honking is fun and will always inherently be fun.
Yeah, and then you move around, and that's the game, and then it introduces you to the narrative. It introduces the game first.
I mean, some people confuse that when they're developing a game for everything needs to start with explosions and shit straight away.
No.
And you can have that slow burn as long... Like, God of War recently is a great example of, you have that main menu, and then it's Kratos chopping down a tree, and you're like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Because every other God of War game has started by hacking things into pieces, and now I'm just like, cutting a tree down?
Yeah, it's
no.
Cool.
Actually, I've looked up Epic's quote because I wanted to make sure I got this right because fuck them if they're being dicks, but they're not. This is Epic's quote. Epic supports everyone's right to express their views on political and human rights. We won't ban or punish a Fortnite player or content creator for speaking out on these topics.
Says wasn't fucking be safe for Blizzard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to BlizzCon 2019. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm just gonna be sitting there watching the live stream with popcorn, saying, "Come on, somebody get on there."
I think it's gonna be one of those things that's like, I'm just gonna take a few days off there and just watch that.
Because they cancelled something recently. I can't remember what it was, but they cancelled a major event of some description they were doing with somebody else. Just because they knew it was going to be...
It was the Overwatch Switch launch party.
Yes, the Overwatch Switch launch. You're right. They cancelled it just out of nowhere, really last minute, because they understood it's just going to attract protest. But they can't cancel BlizzCon in 8 days' time. No, they can't.
I just hope the whole thing, they just talk about the Diablo mobile game. Don't you have mobiles? Don't you have mobile phones? It's going to be amazing.
I'm so looking forward to it. If you're there, please, just whatever you can do, turn it into a shit show.
I genuinely think it's going to turn into one of the biggest protests.
It's going to be I think it's going to be the biggest con shit show ever. But obviously, when it's a con, they've put way too much money up front for them to cancel it now. They can't. It's great. They're trapped.
Oh, they will very carefully control that, I imagine.
It is really one of those moments of you're trapped in here with me. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, the first person to sneak a Winnie the Pooh costume in is going to be thrown the fuck out.
Oh, fuck yes.
If I were them, I'd probably be thinking, okay, what if we deliberately make an announcement everybody hates to draw attention away from the giant number of Winnie the Pooh?
Then they just release Fallout 76. They just announce Fallout 76 is going to be theirs. We've acquired Fallout 76! And everyone's like, what? Control the narrative.
They probably do a fucking better job than Bethesda, admittedly.
StarCraft 3 is going to be a free-to-play mobile game!
They are
Burn
somewhere.
the
They are
house down.
somewhere. Someone
Here we
is
can
really.
see an SCV going over to a mineral patch. Now, it will mine a mineral in 17 hours. Or you can pay some premium StarCraft gems to make it happen in 4 seconds.
It'll be Vespine gas, wouldn't it? Is the microtransaction
Yes!
currency. I'm super excited because somewhere you could just hear a developer is just really just hammering away at a vertical slice of Diablo 4. They go, quickly, finish it. We've only got 8 days, or we're gonna be fucking lynched. It's gonna be great.
They're gonna show it off, but someone's gonna be like live at like animating it with their mouse in the background because like the animations don't work. They'll be moving the limbs manually.
They built it in dreams. That's what they've done.
Quick, make an approximation.
Oh dear.
So some people are saying, remember Activision and Blizzard are the same company? Yep, Activision Blizzard, remember that.
What have Activision released recently? I don't give a shit. Fuck them. It's not like I'm playing Call of
Let's
Duty.
find out using the internet.
Oh no, they released
The
Call of Duty.
what?
No. Here's something that really confuses me. They released Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
What about it?
Is that out? Is that actually out now?
No, yeah, it's out. But until the day it came out, I just thought it was a re-release. I didn't realize it was a new game.
It's a new game.
Yeah, they're releasing Modern Warfare. It's a reboot. I didn't even know.
I thought they were remaking it for the current generation.
Same. I thought it was like the Modern Warfare 2 remaster. They communicated that really badly. It's a new game. It's a completely new game called Modern Warfare, even though they released Modern Warfare 2 remastered last year.
Oh,
that's a bit.
So they've remastered the game and then released the next one, but it's not a remaster, it's a reboot. And why would you reboot? What bit of that story do people want to be retold?
I don't fucking know. I don't even think it's a story retold. They're just reusing the name.
In their defense, though, they did release Sekiro this year. That was Activision.
They didn't make it though. From Software made.
No, it was published by them, but they're the ones making the money.
You know how
their
big,
money.
No, do you know how big the download size for the Modern Warfare is?
No.
It
was well over 100 gig, wasn't it?
Something ludicrous.
It was 160 gig.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, 175 gig.
Yeah, I heard this.
175. I can install the entire fucking Earth.
Not in Flight Simulator, whatever they end up calling it, the new one, because it's 2 petabytes or something.
It is 2 petabytes. Admittedly, it is live. It's like Google. It's like the Google 3D mapping data.
That's really fucking cool. But no VR at launch.
No, but they also they're going to add it, and they're going to add. They don't even have multi-monitor support at launch.
What?
I know. Yeah, they've only got single monitor support at launch.
It's a fucking flight simulator.
I know. I am fully aware.
Is it compatible with flight sticks?
Yes, that's the bare minimum.
Okay, that's good.
But only Logitech ones from the year 1994.
As far as I can tell...
It needs the word death or adder in it, otherwise it won't work.
And as far as I can tell, they're putting it out and clearly using it as a bit of a tech demo, then fixing some of the tech and then adding the different display stuff.
I'm trying to think, what AAA games... What AAA games have come out this year that have been good?
Was Red Dead Redemption 2 this year or last?
I said good.
Someone's pointed out it's 150 gig on PC.
150 gig for PC. It was wasn't it like I swear it was like 40 on console. Don't know what the fuck they've done to that.
Textures are going to be massive on PC. They'll add massive textures.
Yeah, gonna see all that mud.
Yeah, but like it already looks gorgeous. Like whatever you think about it, and I was not convinced. I thought it was great as a walking simulator. I didn't actually enjoy the game bit of the game, but I thought it was great as just like a wandering around, enjoying it, looking at things.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, but I didn't enjoy the incredibly linear missions, but I enjoyed just walking around it. That was brilliant. It was apparently it was over 100 gig on PS4. I don't remember it being this cocky big.
It was massive.
I had which version did I play?
Silent Shark says, I read that the ridiculous game sizes these days because they duplicate the data massively to reduce load times on mechanical hard drives and disks. That's true because with stuff like solid state installs, because the next generation consoles is all going solid state for their main installs, I wonder if games are going to get much smaller all of a sudden.
I'd hope so.
Because solid state doesn't need that shit.
I think they won't, because I think there's actually a bit of dick measuring going on, which is if they announce my game's only 30 gig, people are going to think, oh, it's really small. I think their game's going to be kept artificially inflated because it looks big.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone cares. There's an interesting thing on the Switch, actually, I've noticed, because there seems to be much more of a idea to actually compress your fucking games on the Switch, right?
Well, yeah, you kind of need to because
But the interesting thing is, I was clearing up games the other day, right? And I was going through all the software on the Switch, and there's just this massive inconsistency with the size of games on the Switch, right? Like, there's some games which are absolutely massive that are like tiny as games, and some games which are the other way around.
I mean, if it's well optimized, if it's not, it's a massive fucking ball lake and huge and colossal. Like the WWE game, for instance, was fucking huge for a game. I think it was more than The Witcher, and it's just like 6 oily boys.
Well, yeah, I mean, like looking on my Switch, the biggest game I have is The Witcher 3 at 31 gigs, and I'm sorry, 31 gigs for that game.
For that game and all of its DLC.
Yeah, then LA Noire is 27, which I mean, fair. LA Noire is also massive.
I don't have
Smash is 15, which I suppose it's got a lot of stuff, I guess. And then I deleted the other big stuff. But like, there's some like, I think Rocket League is like 15, 20 gigs or something like that.
Yeah, because that's got a million different levels and shit now.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, there's some games that just add this fucking bloat.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild's only 13 gig. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like fucking Mario Odyssey 7 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the best game on the Switch.
They're super optimized.
Yeah, I know. It's because, you don't need to have that thing. And Call of Duty's just, it's big because they make it quick and they don't bother.
They seem to as well, Activision don't seem to compress their audio. I think they put literally all the audio for every language uncompressed in there.
Oh, that's good. Nothing like downloading languages you'll never fucking know. This is kind of... people have data caps. It's still a thing, especially in America, which I always find quite strange. But it's definitely a big thing. But when we get stuff like Google Stadia, we're really gonna... I don't think America's ready for that to be successful.
Well, America, the FTC are trying to like get rid of net. I mean, they did get rid of net neutrality, didn't they?
Yeah, that's gone.
Fuck it.
That was gone.
And like, people playing stuff like that is going to be this massive thing. I mean, in Europe, it's not as big of an issue, but especially in the US, like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Pokemon Sword Shield at 10 gigabytes.
Really?
I remember when I got I can't remember which one it was. It must have been Flight Simulator like 90 something or Flight Simulator 2000, that sort of era of Flight Simulator, and it was a gig to install. And me and my dad were like, "Who the fuck has a gig? What kind of space future computer is this going on?"
Well, see, I remember it later with the Flight Sim. I remember getting like X-Plane 9. And it was on 7 discs, and it was like, oh, if you want to install the whole world, it's 90 gigs. And I was going, 90 gigs? It's like 2 hard drives worth. I ended up installing 2 hard drives in my laptop just to fit it. I had a hard drive dedicated to just Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
I've been picking through this list of like games that came in 2019.
Yeah,
I think you're not wrong. It's been a disappointing year for the AAAs. I think this has been a good year for the slightly smaller AAs. Because we've had things like Outer Wilds. Has been
excellent. Game of the
great.
year.
Have you played Control? Control was really good.
I enjoyed Control a lot.
Control was really, really damn good. That's been fantastic. If you're into it, Wargroove was brilliant. That was that was an indie.
Yep.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Well, to give its full title, Advanced Wargroove.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot. I think there's been a lot of like mid-tier games. Greedfall. Have you played Greedfall?
No, I've seen some stuff about Greedfall.
It's
really enjoyed, isn't it?
I really enjoyed Greedfall. Yes, it is BioWare, but like BioWare before they went shit.
Yeah.
like good early Mass Effect 1 BioWare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a lovely time with that. I thought Greedfall was really, really solid. But what did you heard? Because I know it got some slightly mixed reviews of time, and I was a bit confused because I thought it was really damn good.
I have heard that it's kind of a mixed bag, but interesting, and I've got a lot of stuff that isn't a mixed bag to get through before I can get to it there.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's perfectly fair.
AAA, I'm trying to think. We definitely had Sekiro was this year.
I'm looking at.
Sekiro was this year.
Crackdown 3 was this year.
I like Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 was fun, but it was so backwards. It could have come out
really
10 years ago,
slightly
less pretty, and you wouldn't have been fine.
I kind of like that. It was a short.
It's a game from the past.
Like, bother to play it.
I enjoyed it for that thing. It was kind of a fun little thing. I mean, what else? Crackdown 3 came out. Anthem came out.
And was cancelled the same year.
Yeah. Devil May Cry 5 came out.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Dead or Alive 6. Yeah.
Is that still a fighting game, or is it now entirely about beach volleyball and boobs bouncing?
Mortal Kombat 11.
Why not both?
Which side of the franchise did it come down on?
Raid 2 came out.
Oh yeah, everyone remembers Raid 2.
That... Oh god, what was that? That bike game on PS4, the biker game.
Oh, Trials Rising?
No.
Trials Rising came out this year, that was great.
I was thinking of the...
Tony Hawk's Pro Motorbiking?
Oh, you're talking about Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone.
Oh,
yeah.
I like Days Gone.
Was that good? I didn't hear great things.
It was average. I thought it was average. It was fine.
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about good things. Stay on topic here, Matt.
Stay
on target.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2, a lot of people raved about that.
Yeah.
It was. I think it's about as good as you're going to be able to make a Resident Evil remake.
Then that's pretty good.
I mean, look,
which is stay pretty close to it, but the thing that worked about it was it really leaned into the horror and the gore way more than I thought it was. They dare to do in this day and age, really.
Yeah,
but it is the most disgusting, gory game I've ever seen. It is gross, and I think that's appropriate for Resident Evil.
I don't think it's the most disgusting, gory game I've seen today.
Really? What's the most disgusting, gory game you've seen, Dan?
Saw a trailer this morning and I went, what the... You know when you bail out of a trailer...
Was this for the new Succubus game?
Yes, it was!
The Succubus game! Where literally... I don't know how far you made it through this, but
I got to the pregnant woman, which I'm guessing is what you're about to say.
No, I was going to get to the bit where 2/3 of the way through, she comes across a tied-down man, literally caresses his penis, it becomes erect on screen
with a slide whistle sound.
And she visibly penetrates it with a schloopy sound.
That's that's...
Yeah, what? What are you talking about? 5 minutes in, which is like... There's a game called, like, Succubus. It's the guys who made... what's it called? Agony.
Yeah.
Guys who made Agony are making a new sort of, like, Doom-inspired shooter thing set in hell, and you play Succubus with tits and fanny hanging out. But the best bit, 5 minutes into the trailer, there is a pregnant woman strung up on the wall, because it's, like, in hell, just completely naked. She slaps this pregnant woman around a bit, then rams her hand up inside, grabs the fetus, pulls the fetus out, breaks the fetus's neck, and then drinks from the fucking neck stump.
Yeah, that's how you top up your health. You do that on a regular basis to top up your health. Features as health top-ups.
So that's probably the worst thing I've seen today.
I remember the very first gameplay reveal of that, because in order to get down low objects, you do a forward slide, but you do a forward slide where you look down, and obviously you can see your boobies flopping in your face while you're doing it. So deliberately the game puts a large number of objects you have to slide under, so you can repeat do that. It is like a 14-year-old boy was given a several £1 million budget. Just said, make whatever you want. Make whatever you want. There's going to be demons, but with tits and blood. It's going to be so edgy. It's going to be the edgiest thing you've ever seen, Mom.
There's a great bit in Coupling where they're playing Tomb Raider, and he goes, make her do the crawl. She doesn't need to do the crawl. Just make her do the crawl. And then they just pause and go, yeah.
What the fuck?
It is genuinely like a 14-year-old trying to make the edgiest game. Like, it's a 14-year-old trying to piss off his mom as much as possible. That's what it is.
Sorry, I'm watching this.
It is a teenager.
Sorry, I'm watching this. I'm watching the... Yeah, that's a... Yep, yep.
Do you notice how, even though it's a first-person horde shooter, there are regular moments where there's just a cliff she needs to climb so it can go into third person to show off her boobs?
What the fuck? He just beats this fucking pregnant woman's stomach until the feet...
It is nothing but an attempt to... It's just an attempt to shock. It's sad.
Genuinely hilarious.
I don't know whether it's funny or sad, because I kind of went through both emotions while I was watching this. Like, at no point was I ever like scared or grossed or anything, because it's too ridiculous for that. It's too stupid.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as far as I can tell with like body gore and stuff like that, like Rebecca's like exposed me to more of that.
Excuse me.
Like,
what the fuck?
Because Rebecca's into some, like, weird anime shit, right? Like,
yeah, that's the understatement of the year.
Like, and the stuff I've seen that is, like, freaky, but not, like that. This is just, like, oh, what if we do that? And it's, like, the most shocking thing in the world, right? For, like, no reason.
Yeah. This is like the game of that, yes. Because Agony vaguely went that direction, but didn't go far enough to actually get notoriety. So what they've decided is, the reason Agony failed was because it wasn't edgy enough. But that's not true. The reason Agony failed was because it was a shit game. And I know because I played it. It was fucking shit.
It just seems like they're just... It's got no finesse.
And if you actually look at the gameplay bit of the game, it looks still shit. It looks like a really boring horde shooter.
With tits.
But there's going to be tits between the horde shooting segments, and occasionally you're going to drink a fetus to top up your health.
I'm going to make my own video game with blackjack and succubi. Succubus.
It's so bad. Agony was bad, and they've taken completely the wrong message from it. Yeah. I think this is the perfect example of taking the wrong lesson from your failure.
It's literally, they should have called this "Fuck You, Dad," the game.
Yeah, that is it.
After all the reviews came in,
it is the 14-year-old with the kind of black floppy hair, like just sketching in a fucking book.
It's you, Matt. It's you. That's who made this game. Someone who looks like you.
I never did that. Well, someone who looks like that.
You do that now, you fucking goth.
Excuse me. Also, for everyone in the chat asking, an example: Dead Leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Dead Leaves.
I don't know what the fuck that's. It's enjoyable though.
It is enjoyable. Exactly. That's what I mean. That has some finesse. That knows what it's doing.
I'm going to
say finesse.
Drill Dick. Long as well.
Is Drill Dick finesse? I don't know if Drill Dick's finesse, but
I feel
at
like
least
Drill Dick's finesse. Oh, Rebecca's left the room at literally the worst time.
Like, for context, I'm saying Drill Dick. Literally, he has a drill dick. His dick's a drill.
Rebecca, we're talking about drill dicks. There you go. That might work.
Great. That's
hello. I summoned you. We're talking about drill dicks. What's your thoughts on drill dicks? Please speak into both microphones at the same time for the recording.
My favourite drill dick is from Dead Leaves.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
See?
We're talking you like really weird animation.
Is this an entire trope?
I don't know.
You do. We're talking about a game called Succubus that came out, which features just like a pregnant woman having a fetus ripped out, and then the fetus gets snapped in half, and then the person drinks the fetus. And then Matt said that you're into really weird shit, but that's too much for you.
I don't like pregnancy.
Yeah, it's just gross, isn't it?
I'd probably play that though.
There you go. The target audience for this, ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, you can. Thank you.
Bye.
Say bye.
I'm so glad that the moment you said you'd seen something gross that day, I knew exactly what you'd fucking looked at. Because I got that email too.
I didn't get that as an email. I sought that out.
Well, I got sent that as an email. I assume because I bought Agony or something. I don't know. Well, I didn't buy Agony. I got sent review code, but I had it. So I assume I got targeted with a targeted email.
So the things that are due to come out the rest of this year, right? Things to sort of we're leading up to.
Planet Zoo.
Yeah. I forgot we were doing a podcast and not John's fetish chat that we normally have every week.
Planet Zoo's coming out.
Oh shit! Soon. How did you find the beta? John.
Huh?
How did you find the beta?
I enjoyed it.
Good.
Really good. I played for like 6 hours straight, and I built like a tiny area that was like, I don't know, 2% of like the franchise park they gave you during the beta. And I just spent a lot of time building like a pirate adventure for my turtles and everything.
Aww.
I didn't play the beta because I just want to wait for it to come out fully.
I want to play
and then I was really proud of one of my African wild dog cubs, and I sold her, and I made so much money, and I was really proud of her.
Ah, you sold your own baby.
I did.
Well, it's still better than Succubus. Still more appropriate.
See, I liked because I really enjoyed the way they're doing the beta, because the beta finished and then they've got a month to actually add stuff to the game that came up in the beta.
Yeah.
Because franchise mode being online only, I was like, I'm not a fan of that. And they were like, oh, we'll just have an offline version as well.
I enjoy it because it's actually a beta. It's not one of the classic AAA betas that comes out 3 days
really
before
weird.
the
I was
thing.
like, oh. Yeah, it's it's 3 days before. Oh, okay.
It's not a beta. That's not a beta. That's just a demo.
It's like hosting the dress rehearsal as the manatee performance. The manatee performance. The manatee performance. You just get manatees in and you just dress them up. You go, why the fuck did I do this?
I thought you said manatee performance. This is why we have a month between tonight and launch. There's so much to clean up now.
We should never do this podcast live again. This is... This has gone. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine.
Oh my god! Someone actually reminded me of this. Sorry, someone in the comments reminded me of this. So I bought some African wild dogs just on the cheap to start my breeding program, and someone let me know in the comment that one of my dogs was called "Do Not Breed in German," but I don't speak German, so I didn't know that. This was specifically a dog they got rid of, but they put a warning in to not breed it because it had terrible traits. But I added it straight to my breeding program because I didn't speak German.
Maybe learn fucking German, John. That sounds like a lot of your issue.
Why are Germans breeding with animals? You know what? Never mind. I don't need to get into that. Anyway, we'll do.
The thing is, though, we're talking about all these game releases, but like it's been a really good year for Switch game releases. Like a fucking amazing year for Switch game releases.
The most month from this year. Loads of them are re-releases from previous years.
Great.
I've been playing. I finished Sniper Elite V2 again. Fucking love that game.
Sniper Elite 3 came out.
I finished. What was it? I finished Saints Row again. I've been playing out of that era of games.
Red Faction of Guerrilla came out. Skullgirls came out in it today. Tangle Tower came out in it today. Obra Dinn's coming out on it. Hat in Time came out.
Obra Dinn has come out on it.
It's already out.
Came out. Hat in Time
I was playing that today. Fucking hell, that's great.
Thingy came out today. No, yesterday it was Monaco. I want to pick that up.
Monaco came out on it. Overwatch came out on it, which is an interesting port.
Never touched it because fuck Blizzard.
They have done that. They have released it at a very awkward time.
It is really unfortunate because like one of the big videos I wanted to do because I've just got a slightly soft relaunch the channel to make like more cool videos was I wanted to do a big World of Warcraft collab.
Okay, sorry,
fuck.
John.
Right,
John, call it what it is. It's a reboot.
Yeah.
Don't call it a reboot. Learn from my mistakes.
So that was fucking. So that was that's the videos in the fucking bin for a while. Can't do that. I had guests lined up for a World of Warcraft mega video, and he had to bin all of it because Blizzard are twats.
Oh, why don't you just do it in a different game like Star Trek Online?
I've never played it, so I don't know what it's about.
God, it's so fucking boring.
It's great. It's
no, you just
not,
like
I love it.
Like, yeah, I know it's not. It's shit. It's just this.
I literally pull up and I'm like, I'm gonna buy a new ship today. I'm gonna kill some things, and then I leave again.
I know you just go and go. Oh look, I've got an ambassador class.
I have a lifetime subscription on that thing and the Enterprise J. I'm never leaving.
I know, but now you've got actual. Have you played it since you got the actual figures?
No.
Yeah. So since you got actual Star Trek figurines, you haven't seen them.
I've got quite a few Star Trek figures in my glass cabinet. What else is coming out this year? There's something else. There's like one big fucker that I can't remember.
Outer Worlds coming out this
Friday?
No,
that's like, I consider that like a AA game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's a AA. I'm really excited.
I think it's had enough attention. It feels like a AAA.
It feels more like a AAA, but it's
I'm worried it's going to underperform because of the attention it's got. Because they are doing something smaller. Oh, Death Stranding. That's what's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether that's going to be good or not. I've no idea what the
fuck
it is.
Welcome to the world of waiting for a Hideo Kojima game.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima's piss fetus adventure.
Is it going to be good? I don't understand what it fucking is.
Oh my god, what if Succubus was actually just leaked gameplay from Death Stranding? That's how they get the babies in the jars.
Well, you know
oh
like
no,
whole thing
Kojima, no, step away from the thing.
Hideo Kojima kind of gets immediately on Twitter. There is actually a very good narrative in-universe reason why your character drinks from fetuses. You will feel very bad when you learn what it is. If you play 80 hours, I will reveal it to you.
I love that shit that he does. Kojima's just a fucking... Kojima is Charlie from Always Sunny screaming wild card and jumping out of the van after cutting the brakes. You just never know what he's going to do. I'm excited.
You know, it's the thing with Kojima, right? So, like, for Fuck Yeah Video Games, one of the things I sort of looked into doing was sending all the... You know, I wanted to send the game... You know, everyone who's has a chapter about them in the book, right? I thought, oh, it'd be nice to send, you know, the game people who made them. That's a nice thing to do. It's about their game. It's like a thank you sort of thing. And then I got to, like, try to contact Hideo Kojima or Hideo Kojima's people, and even that is the most mysterious thing in the world.
What you have to do is you have to go to the ocean, get on your knees and go, Kojima! And a giant whale comes up.
Well, no, like,
and you have to give the package to the whale.
No, for Kojima Productions and Kojima, there is literally no contact, right, that I could find. So then I'm asking around games industry people, and, like, the implication was literally just like, Kojima, you don't contact Kojima contact you. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're just there going, how do we give this book to Kojima? And then you just like turn around and he's in the room going, oh.
On a full moon at midnight, he will appear in your bedroom.
Yeah, that's what it felt like with Kojima. Like, all the others were fairly standard. Like, even, I mean, the Japanese developers were just weird in their own right. Because it's a whole
I'm going to
thing.
be honest, I've never got Kojima. Mine for me is sweary. I like sweary. Just fucking Deadly Premonition is the best.
Yeah, sweary, you know what you're getting. You're getting mad shit. Whereas Kojima, you don't know, like...
It could be anything.
Kojima, playing a Hideo Kojima game is like having sex with someone you're not particularly attracted to. You're not sure how you're going to feel, but you won't know until you start. That's how I always feel what Kojima games are like.
Yeah, but Kojima's like that, but then like halfway through, they pull out like a fucking like...
Oh!
I don't know, they just pull out like a fucking Newton's cradle and stop messing with it. And it's like, well,
Just,
why?
What?
you never know.
That's not where I thought that sentence was going.
No, just like pull out a Newton's cradle just halfway through, just like sat there playing with it.
No, I'm
It's
just
like,
imagining having sex with a magician where they start doing the pulling silk scarves out of.
I want to pull silk scarves out of my cockhole right now.
If
Why don't I have that skill?
If I ever had sex with a magician and she started doing some form of what's this in here and started doing the silk scarf things, that's it. I'm marrying that woman. I'm marrying that woman right
I just
there.
want to come silk scarves.
no, that's you can't take that away from me. You can't take... I'm like, you can fucking piss bread and come silk scarves. Is that it? Is that the podcast? Coming silk scarves and pissing bread.
I've never had sex with a magician. I feel very bad about that. That's so sad.
Oh, yeah.
What's the most interesting career of a person you've ever had sex with?
Prostitute.
That's the least interesting. That's the least interesting.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, wow, that's an amazing thing. Actually, no, that's a good question. Matt, yours is whore. We all know that one.
Oh, do you want another sad thing about that story?
It's true.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. And there's a very sad addendum to it.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, this is going to be the downer,
No,
isn't
there's
it?
a really sad downer addendum to it.
She died of AIDS 4 days
you know
later.
Why? You know why she sold herself for £20? Do you know why? Because she was trying to raise money for her and her sister to get away from their abusive father. Which really dampens the story. It's...
Whoa.
It's
You could have just given her the £20.
Well, I know that. That's what makes it worse. You could have just asked. But it does put a damper on the story.
Oh, yeah, that's the best thing.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Never. We're never ending. I want to know the answer to this, John. I want to know your answer to this question.
Was it on top of a theatre, any chance?
Huh?
Or was it on top of a theatre, or was it Ruby?
It's a career. What question are you even asking me?
John's fucked that ring piece weed thing. That's what he's got. He's got a really small button that he built for himself. Anyway, no, John, what's the answer? Come on, what's your answer to your question?
What's the question? Matt changed the question.
No, your question. The most interesting job. You got silent. You thinking?
Yeah,
Well.
I am.
How hard is it to think about 2 jobs? Hasn't only had sex with 2 people. Sendar says, I hope you enjoyed the last podcast.
It wasn't her job, but she was an extremely experienced ballerina.
She kept you on your toes, did she? Hey!
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Honk. Wait, where's my honk?
Oh, dear. Anyway.
Honk. I've acquired a honk since the last podcast.
Oh, my God.
It's taken him 3 years, but we've prepare the honk.
Wait, I can't find it.
Oh, John, my answer to that was someone
there it
directly responsible for the last financial crash. Hey! Anyway.
Wait, you fucked Gordon Brown? David
I did!
Cameron? Who was,
In his
wait,
eye!
Who was in charge then? 2008. Wait, who was the treasurer? Alistair Darling? You fucked Alistair Darling?
That's why he's called Darling.
Hey!
Ugh. My honk doesn't smell very good.
Cut it there. Cut the video right there. Just end the video right there.
Anyway,
That's where the
on
video
that
ends
note,
when this
that's
goes
the
up to YouTube. That's where the video ends.
That's the end of the podcast.
That's the end. That's where the video ends. You
I
just
was
cut
trying
to
to
black
do
out
more
and
of
my
these
home
later.
doesn't smell very good.
My voice literally went as I was laughing then. That was horrific.
Welcome
Okay.
back to the Podcats, everybody.
Well, yeah. Fuck.
You know what? It's like we never left.
It's true.
Anyway, well, that's the podcast. I don't know if we want to do this again ever.
We maybe not weekly. I think it'll be a bit much
No,
to do
it won't be
weekly.
weekly because
We'll
I'll be
see.
kicked off fucking Twitch
Yeah, we'll
if we
see.
do.
This is not intended to be a regular thing, but it might exist in occasion.
We might be back if people enjoy it. I don't know. We'll see what the
It might appear like Hideo Kojima does.
when you
You
have
do
a
not
book
find
to hand
Podcats, the Podcats
him.
fight.
If you turn off all the lights and say Podcats 3 times into a mirror, Matt will appear behind you and ask you if his honk smells funny.
Such a sad honk. No. That's like the perfect honk for the end of your terrible, sad story.
I know.
Anyway, on that note, bye everyone.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.